So, good day everyone. For today's video, I will tackle the Unit 1 of the Calculus. So first, let's talk about the history of calculus. So calculus, known in its early history as infinitesimal calculus, and it is a mathematical discipline focused on limits, continuity, derivatives, integrals, and infinite series. So yung mga topic nito is i-discuss din natin later on. So Isaac Newton and Leibniz independently developed the theory of infinitesimal calculus in the later 17th century. By the end of the 17th century, both Leibniz and Newton claimed that the other had stolen his work, and the Leibniz-Newton calculus controversy continued until the death of Leibniz in 1716. So, some ideas in calculus found in the works of ancient Greek mathematician at the time of Archimedes, which is 287 to 312 BC, and 17th and 18th century. So, ito yung mga iba pang mathematician na nag-joined sa development of calculus noong 17th and 18th century. So, isa na doon si Jacob Bernoulli, Johann Bernoulli, Leonard Euler, Joseph Lagrange. So, ito yung mga names ng nagbigay ng sound foundation sa calculus. So, ito si Bernard Bolzano, Agustin Cauchy, Carl Weierstrass, Richard Decanand. There's also different types of calculus. So, isa na dun yung differential calculus and integral calculus. So, yes, ito yung differential calculus. So, nakikita natin sa pinaka-monitor yung formula niya. And also, the integral calculus na merong indefinite integral, and definite integral. So, next natin is function. So, function is a relation in which no two ordered pairs have the same first coordinate. So, dapat daw dito walang magkamuka sa first coordinate nila. So, kung napansin nyo dito, yung function like 1, 3, 2. So, walang magkamuka, di ba? Pag may relation, mayroong magkamuka. So, it's like 2, 2, 3, and 1. So, mapapansin nyo yan sa pinaka-example natin sa monitor. So, next natin is the examples of function. Let's say this is the example number 1. No? Let's say ang ating f of x is 3x squared minus 5. So, ang ating f is 1. Ang mangyayari dyan, isa-substitute lang natin yung 1 sa pinaka-x natin. So, mangyayari 3, 1 squared minus 5. So, ang value naman 1 squared is also 1. So, walang pinagbago. So, mangyayari 3 times 1 minus 5. So, magiging 3 minus 5. Bali, ang pinaka-answer natin, final answer is negative 2. So, our next example is, let's say, example number 2. Let's say, our f of x is also 3x squared minus 5. So, paano mangyayari dyan? Ang f natin is negative 3. So, katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, substitute lang natin yon sa may pinaka-x natin. So, ang mangyayari dyan is negative 3 squared minus 5. So, ano ba ang value ng negative 3 squared? Magiging positive yon dahil negative times negative is equals to positive. So, 3 times 9 minus 5, 27 minus 5 is equals to 22. So, yun ang final answer natin. Okay, so our last example is, let's say, our f of x is also 3x squared minus 5. So, ganun na lang. Squared, 3x squared minus 5. And ang value ng f natin is a. A ang value ng f natin. So, ang gagawin natin, katulad ng dati, Isa-substitute lang natin siya sa pinaka-x natin. So, let's say 3a squared minus 5. So, mangyari dyan is 3a squared. Ano ba ang a squared? A squared lang din. So, mangyari 3a squared minus 5. So, yun ang pinaka-answer natin. So, guys, our next topic is all about the operation with function. So, makikita natin dito yung 4 na parts niya, which is sum of 2 functions, difference of 2 functions, product of 2 functions, and quotient of 2 functions. So, makikita nyo dito, guys, yung pinaka-formula na ginagamit niya pag yun yung ginagamit niya na rule, kumbaga. So, let's see, no? So, let's discuss the examples of operations. First, let's say our f of x is equals to x squared plus 1. And g of x is equals to x squared minus x. So, gamitin natin yung pinaka-sum of different functions. Let's say f of x plus g of x. So, ito ang formula niya. Bali yung gagawin natin, substitute lang natin to. X squared plus 1 plus x squared minus x. So, para ma-compute yan, tatanggalin natin yung open and close parentheses nila. So, copy lang siya. Copy lang. No? After nyan, lagyan natin yung pinakamataas na value. So, x squared plus x squared minus x plus 1. So, x squared plus x squared is 2x squared minus x plus 1. So, yun yung pinaka-final answer niya. So, for our next example natin, gamitin lang din natin yung given natin kanina, pero in different formula. Gawin natin difference function. So, magiging ito na yung second example natin. Let's say, f of x plus 2 minus of g of x. So, katulad kanina, substitute lang natin siya, pero in a different sign na ngayon. Kasi, naging difference na siya, so magiging minus na. So, copyhin lang natin itong first part. Substitute, minus x squared. Minus, negative times negative is equals to positive. So, positive x na yan. So, magka-cancel tayo dyan. No? Cancel, cancel. Kaya natin yung kinancel kasi positive to, ito negative. So, natira na lang is x plus 1. Yun na yung pinaka-final answer natin. Formula. Try naman natin yung product. So, third example. F of x times 2g of x. So, copy lang ulit tayo, no? So, yan. Parang algebra lang yan. So, ganyan, ganyan. Distribute, distribute. Ang magiging sagot niya is x to the 4th minus x cubed plus x squared minus x. So, gano'n lang kasimple yung ating product of 2 functions. So, our next topic is all about the composition of function. Let's say, let f and g be functions. The composition of f with g is denoted by f, g, read as f circle g. So, kung makita natin sa monitor, yun yung sa baba niyan, yun yung pinaka-formula na ginagamit natin to solve the composition of function. Okay. So, ang given natin is f of x, x squared minus 1, and ating g of x is x squared plus 2. So, this is the solution. Ganito yan, di ba? Yan. So, yung ito ang pinaka ating function, x squared minus 1. Ang gagawin natin, isi-substitute natin to dito sa pinaka-x na to. Ganun lang ating gagawin. So, magiging x squared plus 2. Tapos, ilabas natin yung squared na to. Squared minus 1. So, ganyan ang pinaka nangyari. So, distribute x squared times squared. So, magiging x to the fourth siya. Ganun din. 4x squared plus 4x squared plus 4 minus 1. So, ang pinaka-final answer natin is x to the fourth plus 4x squared plus 3. Dahil 4 minus 1, 3. So, ito yung pinaka-final answer natin. Example number 2 natin. So, example number 2. Okay. Let's say, ang given natin ng f of x is x plus 1. And ating g of x is 2x minus 1. So, katulad ng solution natin kanina, ganun lang gagawin natin. F, G, X. Yan. So, yun. Yung x na to, ito yung pinaka-isa-substitute natin doon. So, ang mangyayari is 2x minus 1. Ilabas na ulit natin yan. Plus 1. So, yun. Parang dati lang. 2x minus 1 plus 1. Siyempre, cancel na to dahil ito negative, ito positive. So, matitira ay 2x. So, 2x ang ating pinaka-final answer. Okay? Example number 3. So, let's say ang f of x natin is 4 minus x, 4x plus 1. And ang ating g of x is 2x plus 3. Okay. Tulad kanina, yung pinaka-x na mga yan, ito ang pinaka-substitute natin doon. So, yes, ganyan. 4 minus 2x plus 3 over 4 2x plus 3 plus 1. Tama? Okay, plus 1. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. So, magiging substitute lang natin to, yung pinaka-minus dito, tsaka doon. So, 4 minus 2x minus 3 over dito naman, distribute ulit natin. So, magiging 8x plus 12 minus, no, it's plus 1. Ang magiging sagot natin dyan is 1, 4 minus 3, 1 minus 2x over 8x, 12 plus 1 plus 13. So, ito yung pinaka-final answer natin. Our next topic is all about application. So, application is the act of applying a function to an argument from its domain as to obtain the corresponding value from its range. In this sense, the function application can be thought of as the opposite of function abstraction. So, let's discuss the example number 1 of application. So first, the area of rectangle is 6 square in inches. Then the length of the other side is 6 over x. And the perimeter is, so perimeter po ang ating hahanapin. So here's the solution. It's like P is equals to 2x plus 2y. And P is equals to 2x plus y. Ang area natin is xy. At ang ating 6. Yan. Y. X. So, pag yung naka-main answer natin is 2x plus 6 over x. So, ito po yung pinaka-ating main answer. Example number 2. So, sabi dito, express the diameter of a spherical ball as a function of its volume. So, una-una sa lahat, titignan muna natin kung ano ba yung value ng sphere. So, the volume of sphere is v equals to 4 pi r cubed over 3. And the radius natin is d over 2. So, paano siya kukumputin? Kopyahin muna natin to. Okay, dito, ipunta natin dito. Then, cube. Sinubstitute natin, yung pinaka-r na to, ito yung nilagay natin. So, kaya siya naging d2. And then, v equals to 4. Okay, d cube and 8 squared. So, pag dinivide yan, kakancel yan. So, parang ganito ang nangyari. Pwede din siya ganito. Yung 4 pi d cube over 24. Pwede maging ganyan naman siya. So, v is equals to pi d cube over 6. So, ang goal natin kasi is maalis tong 6. So, divide natin sila lahat sa may 6. No? So, mangyayari, pumunta dito yung 6. Yung pi d cube. So, goal din natin mawala yung pi. So, parang sa ginawa din natin, didepende natin sa pi. So, magiging 1 na yun. So, magiging 6v pi d cube. So, pagbalik-tarin lang natin sila. D cube, 6v over pi. So, mangyayari yung sagot dyan is d 3, okay, 6v over pi. Ito yung pinaka-answer natin. So, last example ng ating application. Sasabi ito, find how fast is the area of the circle increases when the radius increases. So, ito ang solusyon natin. Ang area niya is pi r squared. Simple. dA over dr is equals to 2 pi r. Yan na po ang answer natin. Okay, so our next topic is all about limits. So limits tells us the value that the function approaches as that function's inputs gets closer and closer to some number. The idea of a limit is the basis of all calculus. It's like let f of x be a function of x and a be a constant. Okay, so let's say the example number 1 of limits. Limits x approaches to 2, and ang given natin is x squared plus 5. Gagawin natin, yung 2 na yun, substitute lang natin siya sa pinaka-x natin. Bali, magiging 2 squared plus 5. Ang value ng 2 squared ay 4. So, plus 5 is equals to 9. So, yun na yung pinaka-final answer natin. Next is our example number 2. Example number 2. Let's say limits x approaches to 1. Ating given ay 3x squared plus 4x. Ganun lang din gawin natin. I-substitute lang natin yung 1 sa pinaka-x natin. So, 3, 1 squared plus 4, 1. So, 1 squared is equals to 1 lang din. So, 3 times 1 plus 4 is equal to 7. Yun ang pinaka-final answer natin. So, next, example number 3. Let's say, limits x approaches to 4. Ang given natin ay 3x squared and 2x minus 7. So, yun, substitute na natin siya lagi sa pinaka-x natin. So, let's say, 4 squared, 2, 4 minus 7. Pag kinompute mo yan, 48 na ang lalabas. At sa kabila naman ay 1 ang lalabas. Bali, ang sagot natin ay 48. So, corollary, if the limit of the denominator of the quotient is 0, and the limit of the numerator of the quotient is also 0, the quotient may or may not have a limit. Second, the limit of the numerator or the quotient is not 0. The quotient has no limit. Okay, so example number 1 sa ating corollary. Okay, so let's say ang given natin is limits x approaches to 4. Tapos yung pinaka-equation natin is x minus 2 over x minus 4. So, ang solution natin dyan is ganito. Limits x approaches to 4. Substitute natin. Magiging ano yan? 2 minus 2, 4 minus 4. 0, 0 yan. Pero try natin nang hindi siya mag 0, 0, okay? So, let's say limit x approaches to 4, x minus 2, x minus 4. Ganito yung step para hindi siya mag 0, 0. So, limits. Okay. Yung x minus 4 to, x minus 4, tapos x plus 2. Then, limits 1 over x plus 2, 1 over square root of 2, magiging 1, 2 plus 2, equals to 1/4. So, ito yung pinaka-answer natin, 1/4. Okay, so punta na tayo sa example number 2 ng ating corollary. So, let's say, ang given natin is limits of x approaches to 2. 2x minus 4, x minus 2. So, tulad ng ginagawa natin lagi, substitute lang natin yung 2 dito. So, 4 minus 4, minus 2, 0. Pero try natin ibang ways para hindi siya mag-0. So, let's say limits x approaches to 2x. Factor natin siya. Magiging 2. Yung ganyan. Okay. So, nangyari is negative x minus 2. X minus 2 cancel. Magiging negative x naman siya. So, ang sagot is limits x approaches to 2 is negative 2 po ang ating pinaka-final answer. Okay, ang next natin, example number 3, last example. Let's say, limits x approaches to 2 ulit. X cubed minus 4x over x cubed minus 2x squared. So, pag inunom mo kasi yan, sinapos ko puro 8 minus 8 lang naman natin. So, it means 0, 0 na naman siya. So, let's find ways para, hindi siya mag 0, 0. So, let's say limits x approaches to 2. X cubed minus 4x. X cubed minus 2x squared. Mangyari. Or, ito siya. Okay, next. So, ganun pa tayo na lang. Gawin natin yung x squared minus 4. X squared minus 2x. So, ito natin ulit. Over. Okay. So, malapit na tayo. X plus 2 over x. So, pag ganito na, substitute na natin pinaka 2 sa pinaka-x natin. So, 2 plus 2 over 2. So, the answer is 4 over 2, diba? Pero ang answer din is 2. So, 2 ang ating final answer. next is all about the limit of trigonometric functions. So this leads to the following theorem. So makikita nyo dyan yung limits x approaches to sine, cosine, and tangent. So there's no quantity is both greater than of less than the contradiction. Okay, so next we will talk about the examples of the limits of trigonometric functions. So let's say our given is limits x approaches to 0 and sine x over 2x squared minus x. So these are the solution. Limits x approaches to 0. So magiging sine x yan over x 2x minus 1. Ito, magiging 1 na lang value. So magiging 1 2x minus 1. And limits x approaches to 0 equals to 1 over equals to negative 1. So negative 1 is the final answer. Okay, next na may ating trigonometric function. Let's say limits x approaches to 0. Okay, sine negative 3x over 4x. So, solve natin. Limit x approaches to 0. Negative 3 sine negative 3x over negative 3 4x. So, tinigay natin siya po sa negative 3. So, magiging negative 3 sine negative 3x over 4 negative 3x. Magiging 1 na lang ang value ito. So, magiging limits x approaches to 0 is equal to negative 3 over 4. So, ito po ang pinaka-answer natin. Okay. Next, so may ating last example. So, may trigonometric function. Let's say, limit approaches to 0, 1 minus 2 tangent. Ano yung tangent? Hindi natin dinivide by sine tangent. So, magiging 1 to. Ito magiging value ng I, 0. So, 0 over 1 is equals to 0. 0 ang ating main answer. So, next is infinite discontinuities. If a function increases without bound as x approaches to a, then that function has infinite discontinuity. X is equals to a. So, makikita nyo sa baba dyan yung pinaka-formula na ginagamit niya. So, yun guys. Naman tayo sa infinite discontinuities. Infinite discontinuities. So, let's say, example number 1. Let's say, given natin I, limits x approaches to infinity. Okay. So, limit x is 9 over x squared plus 8x minus 2. So, let's say, divide natin siya sa may yung highest exponent natin, which is x squared. So, we can say x over x squared plus 9 x squared over x squared. Yeah. Then, yung 17 x squared plus 9 x squared over 1. Ito na lang po ito. Okay, x squared plus over x squared is equals to 1. Wala. So, wala na ang okay. So, hindi. So, araw ng infinity, lahat ng exponent is 0. So, limit x equal to 0, 0 over 1 is equals to 0. So, 0 ulit siya. Okay, next examples are the infinite discontinuities. Let's say limits x approaches to 1 over x minus 1 squared. So limits x approaches to 1 over x minus 1 squared equals to negative infinity. So hindi naman minus, okay, is equals to negative infinity. So sila ang gagawin may sakot. Okay, for the last example, so may infinite discontinuities. Let's say limits x equals to infinity. So x squared minus 2x over 4x squared. So toward the bracket, divide naman this with the highest exponent, which is x squared. So magiging 5 over x squared. So, katulad dati, magiging 0 naman na walang kamukha. So, 1 to 0, 1, 0. Kaya magiging sakit ay ang natira ay 1 plus 0, 1 plus 0, and 4. And 4 ang ating final answer. So, the next topic is all about limit at infinity. So, a function f of x may have finite limits even when the independent variable becomes infinite. The statement x becomes infinite is expressed as x approaches to infinity. Okay, so this is the example number 1 ng ating limit at infinity. Let's say, ang given natin is limit x approaches to infinity and x squared minus 1 x squared plus 1. So, lagi natin nandaan na yung pinaka-divide natin lahat sila sa pinaka-highest exponent. So, yun yung x squared. So, x squared over x squared minus 1 over x squared over x squared over x squared plus 1 over x squared. So, yun nga. Kaya siya yung dinivide kasi siya yung pinaka-may highest na exponent. So, let's say, pag kinancel yan, magiging 1 na. X squared over x squared is equals to 1. And 1 over x squared. Magiging 1 din yun. Nasa denominator natin dahil same lang sila. So, after nyan, ang rule ng infinity, lahat ng may exponent na natitira is, ang value na nun ay 0. So, magiging 1 plus 1 over x squared. Magiging 0 na yung mga exponent na yon. So, bali magiging 1 minus 0 is over to 1 plus 0. So, ang answer natin is 1. So, this is our next example. Example number 2. ng ating limits and infinity. Let's say, limits x approaches to infinity. Ang given natin is 2n minus 3 over 3n plus 7. So, may constant natin is n. So, doon natin di-divide lahat ng variable natin. So, magiging 2n over n minus 3 over n over 3n over n plus 7 over n. So, doon natin siya di-divide. So, ika-cancel na natin siya. Magiging 1 na lang yon. N over n is equals to 1. So, 0 na nga yung mga natirang walang value. So, 2 minus 0 over 3 plus 0. So, lagyan natin yung to the fourth. Yan. So, algebra ulit. Magiging 16. Distribute natin yung 4 dun sa 3. Magiging 81. So, ito na yun. 16 over 81 is our final answer. So, this is our next example. Last example of our limits and infinity. Let's say, limits x approaches to infinity. Ang given natin is 1 plus 2, 10 to the nth power, 5 plus 3, 10 to the nth. So, nakita natin, yung exponent ngayon, 10 to the nth power. So, yun yung lalagay natin or i-divide natin sa bawat variable na andito. So, 1 over 10 to the nth plus 2, 10 to the nth power over 10 to the nth power over 5 plus 10 to the nth power plus 3, 10 to the nth over 10 to the nth power. So, rule ng infinity, 0 po ang mga walang value. So, 0 natin yan, 0. Okay? 1, 1, mangyari 0 plus 2 times 1. And over 0 plus 3 times 1. Sagot natin dyan ay 2 over 3. Yun ang final answer natin. Next is continuity. It is a function of f of x is said to be continuous at x is equals to a. If the following continuous are satisfied. So first, if function of a exists, if limit of f of x exists, and third, if function of a is equals to limits f of x and x approaches to a. So, yun. Magiging continuous lang daw siya pag nasunod yung tatlong step na ito. So, yun guys, kung mapansin nyo yung example 1 ng continuity. Sabi ito, f of x is equals to x squared with yung x daw is, ang value is 2. So, mangyari lang dyan, isa-substitute lang din nila sa pinaka-function or pinaka-x yung 2 na yon. Then, makikita doon, thus the function is continuous at 2. So, makikita nyo din yan sa graph na dumaan. So, it means continuous yun sa function of x na 2. Yun. So, next natin yung example number 2. f of x is equals to 1 over x is continuous at x equals 3. So, mapapansin nyo, continuous daw siya eh. Pero it is however discontinuous at x equals to 0. So, makikita nyo dyan guys na hindi siya dumaan sa gitna. Kaya it means discontinuous siya. Yun yung pagiging discontinuous. So, next natin, yung pinaka-final example. Nakita nyo sa graph, hindi din siya dumaan sa gitna. No? It means, notice that the graph has no x-intercept since y is equals to 0. So, serves as the horizontal asymptote of the graph. So, it means discontinuous din siya. Ayun, pagmasdan nyo lagi yung graph para malaman natin if continuity or hindi.